to Dylan's 8-month update. I was going to have Dylan here, but I went downstairs to go see what Rob was doing with him, and he was eating his tea. So I was like, oh no. But I'll include some cute photos. I will, and possibly some videos as well if I can get them uploaded. But so Dylan is 8 months old yesterday, so on the 25th of January he was 8 months old. It makes me want to cry a little bit. I know his 6-month update I think was a little bit late, so I think I did that at the beginning of December, I think, so yeah. But yeah, he's 8 months old. I'm a little bit sad about it, and I think that so much has happened between him turning 6 months and turning 8 months. It's just crazy. It does not seem like the same baby. So I'm going to start off with his physical stuff. I think before he was kind of rolling around and slowly crawling. He could get around a little bit, but now he is full on commando crawling. He doesn't really get up on all fours. At all really. He can get up and he can rock, but he hasn't quite figured out how to move his arms and legs to that. But he can commando crawl everywhere. He's not yet pulling himself up, but he can stand really well. He'll just stand by himself stationary, and he's starting to try and use a walker. And actually the other day this week my mum had a little stool and he was holding onto it and kind of pushed it across her floor and was moving his feet as well. For 8 months old I think that's pretty good going, bless him. But I don't want him to walk yet. I don't want him to be too mobile yet. I want him to be my stationary baby for just a little bit longer, just so I can savour that babiness. I think once they start walking you're like, you're not a baby anymore, you're kind of a toddler now, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, so his jumperoo as well, he sits in his little jumperoo and he can swing so much in it that he's managed to kind of scoot it across the floor, even though it's supposed to be stationary. Not quite sure how he manages it, but he can scoot it across my wooden flooring in the front room, which is quite funny. I'll include a clip at the end, because I'm not quite sure how to do it in the middle. But I'll include a clip at the end of Dylan scooting that stool across the floor for you, if I can get it off my phone. You'll have to excuse the quality because it was obviously like I said, taken on my phone, but I'll include that at the end for you. His speech, he's babbling loads more now. He can say hiya. We hear that a lot, and mama and dada. It actually doesn't really say dada, he says dad, like that. I don't know if he takes after Willow. He's just listening to what Willow says. I think Willow said a couple more words at this age, but you know, he doesn't babble half as much as Willow does. But he can wave as well when he feels like it, and he's been able to do his high five for about 3 or 4 months. But we're really encouraging the wave and ta as well. We're kind of encourage thank you already. I do a little bit of baby sign. I've kind of self-taught myself over the years because obviously I worked in a nursery, so like bits that I've picked up from other mummy YouTubers and other mummies in general, and we did attend like a taster baby sign class as well. So I do more milk, and we do kind of bath and things like that. So just a little bit of baby sign. I don't know actually how much of it is actually what I'm making up and how much of it is legit baby sign, but we'll find out, I suppose. But he understands what I mean, and I suppose that's kind of all that matters. He's kind of a little bit clingy to mummy. He's definitely a mummy's boy, but Willow's a daddy's girl, so he kind of evens out our family a little bit. He definitely does prefer his mummy. He's quite happy with Rob. He's happy to be looked after by Rob, but he kind of is a mummy's boy a little bit, bless him. But I've heard that little boys are more to the mummy and little girls are more to their dads, and it seems to be the way things go, so not always, but it seems to be it. Sleep, at the moment we're having a little bit of a sleep regression. He was sleeping really well until about 4 months old when he got his first bout of gastroenteritis, and he got quite poorly, was up all hours, and it was kind of a bit of that week, it was a bit of a nightmare week because we were in and out of doctor's surgeries and trying to get him admitted into hospital, but no one wanted to admit us into hospital until he was even worse than what he was at the time. But that's another story for another day. But since then, he's kind of had a sleep regression. He is now obviously 8 months old. He is capable of very much sleeping through the night. And actually him going down to sleep, if he's not in my arms, he kind of won't go down to sleep. I think with your second child, you've got to worry about first, so that it was just the quickest way to get Dylan to sleep, so that I could then put Willow to sleep, you see what I mean? So I didn't actually necessarily think about the patterns that I was putting into place that was going to make it more difficult for Dylan to go to sleep on his own and self-soothe and things. But last night he actually went to sleep drowsy but awake after his bottle, and he just went off to sleep on his own in his cot, which was quite good. That's the first time he's done that ever. And he actually, normally he wakes up about 12 o'clock for a bottle and then goes straight back to sleep. But last night he lasted till 4 o'clock. So I'm hoping we're kind of starting to crack the sleep regression that we've kind of been stuck in. But I've not slept through the night in about 7 months. So, well, actually probably since he's been born. I don't think we've had a really good solid night's sleep. So yeah, bless him. We took him to the health visitor today to get him weighed. His we didn't do his length, which was a little bit annoying, but we did his weight, and so he is now 21 pounds and 8 ounces, sorry. 21 pounds 8 ounces, so he's a chunky boy. Bless him, he's a big lad. And but he's on the 75th percentile, and he's carried on. He dipped a little bit into the 50th while he had that first bout of gastroenteritis, but then he went back up to the 75th, so he's kind of maintaining his weight really well. The only other thing that pediatrically wise that I'm worried about with Dylan is the fact that his immune system seems to be not quite as strong as what you'd expect it to be. I've mentioned that he's obviously had gastroenteritis. He's had that twice. He kind of gets every cough and cold going, and he also he's also had a chest infection as well, bless him. So he seems to be just constantly poorly, so I'm hoping that I'll kind of get better. But I do wonder if it was anything to do with the positive Coombs test that he had when he was first born, and he had that for a good few months as well, so maybe it's just all linked to that, and it's just his immune system kind of building up and things. And yeah, so not quite sure. We'll have to see how that goes and monitor that situation, bless him. But I'm not quite used to it because Willow and me are never really poorly at all, although that said, they have both got stinking colds now. But yeah, that's it for Dylan's 8-month update. He's doing really well. Oh, weaning as well, sorry, I'm not quite done. If you've just watched our by the time this is up, you would have seen Friday's video, which was on weaning. Dylan's doing really well with his baby-led weaning. About a month ago, I was a little bit worried that he wasn't quite getting enough, and now I can't feed him enough. He's having quite easy 3 meals a day. The only thing that I haven't quite cracked with him is cereal. He kind of doesn't really take to cow's milk very much. I mean, you can give them cow's milk in the UK. It's recommended that you can give them cow's milk from 6 months old, so within their cereal and cooking, but just not as a drink in substitute for their formula or breast milk. So he just isn't a fan of wet cereal. He'll quite happily on a morning eat his dry cereal, so like Cheerios or something, or like Honey Hoops or something like that, and some banana and some fruit. He'll quite happily have all of that in a little tray in front of him and just help himself and eat it all, but he will not eat wet cereal. So that's just a little bit strange. I don't know if it's just I don't know what it is. The only wet cereal I've managed to actually get down him was Weetabix, so we kind of swap it out a little bit and give him some toast now and again and things like that. But literally he just eats exactly what Willow and me and Rob eat, to the point of he's had curries. He even had a little bit of a Chinese one night as well. I think that was on Christmas Eve. He had a little bit of a Chinese and he loved it. I was like, this is not happening very often. When we go out to eat, he's really happy just to have a little bit of all of our plates, and kind of this month we went up to visit some family up in Sunderland, and we went to Frankie and Benny's and we kind of ordered a couple of starters for me, Rob and both the kids, and he kind of had a little bit of everything. Like, we spent ages munching on some celery, like absolutely loved it. So he's really into his food, which is absolutely fantastic. He very rarely gags anymore. He's kind of learned how to chew. Oh, and he's also, that's another thing, he's also gained 3 teeth. He got his 2 bottom teeth on Christmas Day. They just popped through, and then he's got 1 at the top. He looks a little bit odd because the second one on the top hasn't, like his second front tooth hasn't come through yet, so it looks a little bit strange, bless him. But I think that's about to pop through today or tomorrow. It looks very, you can see the line where it's just about to cut through. So bless him. But he's doing really well with his teething as well. We've just bought him a amber teething ring as well. Not a teething ring, the amber teething anklet things, and he absolutely doesn't play with it at all. I put it on him and he wasn't really that bothered by it, and yeah, he doesn't really seem too bothered by his teeth either, so yeah, it seemed to work. So that's it for Dylan's 8-month update. I still can't get to grips with the fact that he's 8 months old. I'll include a cute little video here of him pushing that stool around, and we'll see you guys next time. Leave a friendly comment down below and I will get back to you, or subscribe if you like this and like this video, you know, do whatever. Right, thanks guys, bye!
Good boy! Well done! That's better than the other day.
I know, yeah. Clever boy! Go on then!
What are you doing, cheeky boy?
You doing any more steps?
Yeah. What you doing?
Oh, you get stuck. Clever boy.
Where's my boy?
He's just trying to get round Willow to watch the telly. Clever boy. You just want to watch Mr. Tumble. No. Got ya.